Alex Alonso here from Street TV, and what I got for you next is a video that I was supposed to release when Eric Holder was about to be sentenced. But since bro hasn't been sentenced yet, I decided to release this video. But what I did in this video is I took a whole bunch of different clips, different angles of the Nipsey Hussle incident, and I synced them together. And in doing so, I was able to come up with a more accurate timeline of the events. And I'm also introducing two different videos of different angles that captured Eric Holder's getaway in the alley near the end. These two clips have never been seen before outside of court. They've never been published online. And I ended up syncing all the footage together, and I also threw in some photos that were captured that day. And you're also going to learn who took the last photo with Nipsey Hussle. So far, that photo, no one knows that. This video will reveal the last photo that Nipsey Hussle took. And there's a few different interesting things that syncing this video has taught me about the incident that I didn't know before. And also, in no way is this syncing of the video and this new timeline that I'm presenting undermine the case, undermines the verdict, none of that. The only thing that my timeline did was correct the time to the exact second, because what I did was I used the LAPD body cam footage, which we use is coordinated universal time, UTC code. I was able to match that to the Master Burger footage, and then I was able to match the Master Burger footage to the Shell gas station footage. And the timestamp on the LAPD body cam is the world clock. They use the world clock, the same time that is on your cell phone uses the world clock. In court, we learned that the Shell gas station footage was off by 67 minutes. And all that my syncing of the footage did was we learned that it was off by 67 minutes and 17.36 seconds. That's for those who are interested in the precise time. And even though the Master Burger footage had the correct time, that clock was off by 35 seconds. So that's what the UTC, Universal Time, or Coordinated Universal Time, tells us. Gives us the exact precise footage. And then the footage that you're going to see on 58th Place, there was a house on 58th Place, and that footage was also off by 11 minutes. So we're going to go through the whole thing, and in doing so, we might learn a few new things. You might not. I know that this case already happened in July. I was hoping to release this when Eric Holder got sentenced. Bro still hasn't been sentenced. He's supposed to get sentenced in next month in February. So I decided, let me just drop this video now and close this chapter on this case. So here's the beginning of the video where I synced all the footage, and the Shell gas station footage starts at 2:47 p.m. And here you'll notice that's Rimpaw standing behind his car, and he's talking to Cowboy. And they're just chopping it up, having a conversation. At this point, Rimpaw decided to sit on the ground there. He's sitting down, Cowboy standing up. Now that's a white Audi that pulls up. That's the car that that everyone is leaning up against when Nipsey is talking to Carrie Latham later. There's also a point where Rimpal leans up against that white Audi that just pulled in, and the person that gets out is going to walk over in the direction of the barbershop. That's the driver of the white Audi. Now this time code that you see here on the bottom, that is actually that is actually the actual time that you see of what's going on. So basically right now it's 2:49 p.m. 29 seconds, and I also have the hundredths of a second on here to give a more precise time for any incident. And again, I was able to make this time code based off the LAPD body cam footage. And that footage is set by the company that does it. I believe it's Axum. Okay, so right now it's 2:49 p.m. and that's Ingrid Caston driving a Cowboy's car, and she's the one bringing lunch. So if anyone's curious, at the time that she arrives with Cowboy's lunch, it's actually 2:50 p.m. 2:50 p.m. and 13 seconds to be precise. And at that same time, let me pause it right here. At that same time, Nipsey Hussle pulls in. He pulls in 2:50. Actually, his car pulls in at 2:49 p.m. We can back it up a little bit if you want to get the exact time he pulls in. And I would say about 2:49 and 50 something seconds is the exact time that Nipsey pulls in. You can see his cars. I'm reversing this right now, so you can see the front of his car. We'll say we'll say 2:49 or 2:50 exactly. Let's see. Sorry about this. My footage is jumping all over the place right here. Okay, let's fast forward this real quick. Oh, I know what's going on. I got a process that's running in the background that's using a lot of the processing power of the computer. We'll say 2:50 p.m. 2:50 p.m. maybe 2:49 and 50 something seconds. Nipsey shows up. And that's his Mercedes right there, parked right next to the barbershop. And you can see Cowboys right here walking around, Rimpal standing there. And then at this point in time, you're going to see, wait up. So that's Joshua Baerga, aka Kid Flashy, walking by. Cowboy and Rimpaw. That's Rimpaw to the left, Cowboy to the right. They're over there talking. And now Joshua Baerga is walking back to the barbershop. That's him right here at 2:51 p.m. You'll see him right here crossing this. That's him right there. And Rimpaw just went into his car. Now he's standing behind his car. Cowboy's over there talking to Ingrid Caston in her car. And Rimpaw just opened up his trunk. It's 2:52 p.m. And it looks like he has the food that Ingrid bought him. You can see him holding a white bag. And now Rimpaw is stooping down. I think he's doing some sort of wardrobe change as Cowboy decides to walk into the Marathon store. And I estimated at this time, 2:52 p.m. based on Twitter, that Nipsey Hussle posted his last tweet, "Having strong enemies is a blessing." And right now, Rimpaw is sitting down on the curb there. I think he's either changing his shoes or changing his pants. He's doing something over there that it's hard to see. And at this point, 2:53 p.m., Nipsey Hussle exits the car. And he'll wave over to Rimpaw. And they're going to come and greet each other right here in the parking lot. And now you see Cowboy walking out. There's a woman here to the left that's taking pictures in front of the Master Burger. And there's another person standing over here that had walked out of the Marathon store. So at this point, Rimpaw, Cowboy, and Nipsey, they're just chopping it up there in the parking lot. I also calculated that Nipsey sat in his car for 3 minutes and 24 seconds before exiting. And there you see that just walked away right here. That's Joshua Baerga. He said something to Nipsey. I'm going to guess he said, "I was wondering if I could take a photo with you," because he ends up taking a picture later. But he's now inside of the Master Burger. And this is a video that I compiled all the clips and I synced all the clips together, and you're going to see a couple of clips that have never been posted online that show the getaway of Eric Holder near the end. And that's why I have this clip in the upper left-hand corner, because there's going to be some other things that pop in. So here's a car that pulls up, and apparently the occupant of that car knows Nipsey, Cowboy, or Rimpaw, because they engage each other in a conversation. And here's a screen capture from the video that Ingrid Caston shot while they were talking to the occupant or occupants of that car at 2:56 p.m. This was a photo that was used in the trial when Ingrid Caston testified. And if you're interested in watching that whole video, which is probably like a minute long, it's on Cowboy's Patreon page, the entire clip. Now keep in mind, Ingrid Caston is sitting right in that car. She never got out. So for the next couple of minutes, they're just going to have this conversation, Cowboy, Nipsey, and Rimpaw, right there in the parking lot, standing behind that white Audi. And you'll see that Cowboy is holding his food. He actually took it out the bag. The reason why we know, because if you looked at the screen capture from Ingrid Caston, you can see that the bag has been removed. But I guess he didn't get a chance to start eating it yet because Nipsey had pulled up and he came outside to talk to Nip with Rimpaw. Unknown person at 2:58 greets the fellas in the group and walks over towards the barbershop. Now I have this whole video without any of my commentary posted on my Patreon page, which will show all these angles synced together with the time code. And I was going to release this on the day that Eric Holder was to be sentenced. Originally supposed to be sentenced in September, then in December. Just kept getting delayed. So I just decided to release it now, because even though he's scheduled to be sentenced in February, who knows if there's going to be any more delays. So you can just see Nipsey standing there on the left of Rimpaw. Rimpaw's right here. Cowboy's right there. And Nipsey's wearing a white do-rag. So now it's 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock. It's been about 10 minutes since Nipsey arrived. when you look at the body language of these three guys talking to each other, you could tell that Nipsey's doing most of the talking. Cowboy's doing a little bit of talking too. But most of the time they're just listening to what Nipsey's saying. Here's a guy that's going to greet the fellas there in the group. He's the one that just pulled in that car and backed it into the spot right here. And he's going to walk towards the barbershop. So 3:02 p.m. is a very important point because you're going to start seeing several cars pulling into the parking lot. And as of now, this car took up the last spot in the parking lot. So there is no more available parking for any of the cars that are coming in. And you're going to see about 4 cars pull in right here in the next 20 seconds. And that white car right there, that's Bernita Nicholson's Chevy Cruze. She's driving the car. And Eric Holder's the passenger, and you can see Rimpal look back. They know that that's him, because in the trial we heard testimony from Cowboy that Nip asked, "Is that Eric Holder? Is that Shitty Cuz?" Now you'll see Rimpal is walking back to his car. He opens up the door on the driver's side. And at this point, the Master Burger footage begins at 3:03 p.m. So now I have both these two clips synced together. There's Rimpal. He's going to walk back to the group there. And there's a guy there with a bag that just walked out of the Marathon store. He noticed Nipsey was out there, and he's going to get an autograph. He's going to pull something out of the bag that he purchased, and Nipsey is obliging him with an autograph. This guy obviously has the last autograph of Nipsey Hussle, this gentleman right here. At 3:04 p.m., Eric Holder exits the car, and he's going to walk over to the Master Burger. And notice you'll see him enter at the clip at the bottom. The bottom clip is the Master Burger footage, and they're both in sync. Now there's a gentleman that joins the group with Cowboy, Rimpal, and Nipsey, and he starts talking, but we don't know who he is. But during the trial, Cowboy was asked, "Who is this guy?" And he said he didn't recall his name. But he's actually present for the 4-minute conversation that's going to start right now at 3:05 p.m. And I guess that's one of the reasons why the attorney asked who this guy was. So now it's Eric Holder just shook all three people's hands. I'm not sure if he shook this fourth guy's hand. Let's back it up a little bit. I'm reversing the footage here just to see if Eric Holder shook the other guy's hand. Okay, here we go. There's Eric about to walk up. Shake. Rimpaw. Can't quite tell. But these two guys that are walking away, the guy in the white shirt is the one that got that autograph from Nipsey, because he went back into the store because he was with a friend. Now he's leaving. And this is the point where Bernita notices that Eric is over there talking to Nipsey. She saw him going to Master Burger, but she didn't realize he left the Master Burger and went over there into that group. And she wanted to take a picture. And she exited her car at 3:05 p.m. And this is at this point, she's hearing what we're calling the snitch conversation. And this fourth unknown person is also witnessing it. This is when she just moved in position. She asked to take a picture. And now you see her. She's actually in front of Rimpaw. This is Rimpaw right here. And boom, 3:06 p.m. and 56 seconds, she takes the picture with Nip, and then she walks back to her car. And at this point, Nipsey and Eric Holder continue their conversation. And this fourth guy is still there. And there's Nipsey, and that's Eric. And the conversation seems just to be between Nipsey and Eric. Rimpaw standing there. And Bernita is just sitting in the car. And you'll see the front end of the Cadillac Escalade with Carrie Latham and Shermai Villanueva. Nipsey looks in that direction and then turns back to Eric and continues talking. And if you pay attention to Nipsey at this point, he's using a lot of hand gestures. Rimpaw kind of just moved over to the side. Now you can see Cowboy standing very close to the conversation. That fourth guy had already left. And because there's no parking spots, Shermai is going to have a tough time trying to figure out where to park the truck. At this point, Carrie Latham exits the passenger side of the SUV, and you'll see Cowboy shakes his hands. He shakes Nipsey's hands and Eric's hands to leave. Eric leaves, but Cowboy ends up not leaving because Carrie Latham joined the group. So at 3:09 p.m., that 4-minute conversation is over. It actually lasts for 4 minutes and 14 seconds. And that's the conversation that we're calling the snitch conversation. Let me pause it right here. So now Eric Holder walks back to the Master Burger to see if his food is ready. And I think at this point, he realizes he wants something to drink, but he doesn't have any money. He doesn't have any more money. So, and there's Christian Johnson in the white t-shirt walking in at 3:10 p.m. Let me pause it here for a second. Christian Johnson actually testified in the trial and talked about witnessing what he witnessed. Let me continue here. And you can see how these two clips are synced together. Because if you look in the upper left-hand corner of the Shell gas station, you'll see Eric Holder walking around. Okay, so there's a couple things going on here at 3:10. You can tell that Eric Holder is in deep thought. Let me back up a couple of frames here, just so you can see the expression on his face here at 3:10 p.m. And he's just thinking. He's waiting for his food, and he's thinking at 3:10 p.m. But if you look at the Shell gas station footage, you'll notice Joshua Baerga in the burgundy shirt just moved into the group. Standing right there, you see Carrie Latham there with the jacket open. That's Carrie Latham right here. That's Joshua Baerga. That's Nipsey Hussle. And all of this is happening at the 3:10 p.m. Christian Johnson walks into Master Burger. Eric Holder walks back there. Baerga joins the group because he wants to take a picture. And Shermai is trying to find a spot for this car, for his truck. And Bernita Nicholson is still sitting in the white car waiting for Eric. Let's continue. So if you look at Eric Holder, he's there thinking. And boom, this is at the moment where Joshua takes the picture with Nip. And then he walks to his car. This is Joshua Baerga, Kid Flashy's car right here. And that's Cowboy, Rimpaw, Nip, and you can see Latham, Cousin Carrie there. And this is where Eric Holder asked Bernita Nicholson for a couple bucks to get something to drink. She ends up giving him a $5 bill at 3:10 p.m. At 3:11, an unknown person greets Eric Holder. They exchange a couple of words. And here you can see Eric Holder going back to the Master Burger. His food is ready, but now he wants to get a drink. So here you can see this is Bree, and the second girl is her friend right here. Let me pause it here for a second. So Bree and her friend walked into Master Burger while Eric Holder's ordering a beverage. What you'll notice here is this car is leaving. So now there's an available parking spot, and you will see Bernita pull into that spot so she can get out of the traffic there, get out of the way. Let's continue. It looks like there's an exchange of information between Eric Holder and Bree's friend. Here's my number. Take it down. That's what I'm assuming. And that this car leaves, and now you're going to see at 3:12 p.m., Bernita pulls her car into that available spot. And you can see her down here in the Master Burger footage right there. At this point, Eric Holder, let me rewind this just a couple of frames. Eric Holder decided to, after he got his food, to go back to the group and I guess say his goodbyes. Okay, this is Eric Holder right here. Let's let it play. That's Eric Holder right here. He's going to greet Rimpaw and Cowboy, but Nipsey Hussle's way on the other side over here, and he doesn't have any words for Nipsey at that time. And this is the moment where he takes a picture with this young kid. This is Ayanna Kennedy's child. And it's 3:12 p.m. At the exact same time that this picture is being taken, Eric Holder gets into the car of Bernita Nicholson and starts to leave. And let me just show you what's going on here. Now, I'm rewinding this frame by frame. This is Nipsey Hussle. This is another gentleman with a white hat on. That's him in this picture here with the colorful kicks. When I rewind this, you're going to see Nipsey with the white do-rag. You're going to see his body pop. I'm rewinding it. So he had just popped up after bending down to take this photo with this little kid here. And let me rewind it a couple more frames so you can see him standing up. You see Eric Holder there walking backwards. I'm rewinding this frame by frame so you can just see how I was able to sync that moment in and give you the most precise time on that photo. Okay, so there's Nipsey right there. He's bending down, talking to that kid. And there's Nipsey standing. So because Nipsey was preoccupied with talking to this kid, Eric Holder never got to greet him, talk to him. Perhaps the temperature changed after that 4-minute conversation, but he does greet Rimpaw and Cowboy. So let me play this forward. And that's Nipsey right there. He bends down and then he stoops all the way down. The gentleman in the white hat is right here. And there's the picture at 3:12 p.m. I just paused it so you can see the position. Eric Holder just jumped in the car. Cowboy standing there. That's Rimpaw. That's Shermai Villanueva. And Christian Johnson is still waiting for his food at the Master Burger. Let's continue. Okay, now Nipsey stands up after he took the picture with this little kid. And Bernita and Eric are going to leave. She's backing up the car to leave. And then at this moment, the gentleman in the white hat and Nipsey Hussle take a picture. This is Cabby. Cabby's a brother that has his own clothing line called Vision Apparel. He's actually wearing a Vision Apparel shirt in this photo. I just paused it so you can see what's going on. At this moment, at 3:13 p.m., Eric Holder and Bernita Nicholson left. They're out of the shot here, and they just pulled off onto Slauson, and they made a right turn going east. Excuse me. And they're going to circle the block. And let's continue. And while they're circling the block, we got testimony from Bernita that Eric Holder wanted to actually do a shooting at this moment from the car. So if you noticed, Bree, let me pause it here. Bree and her friend had walked out of the Master Burger and walked over towards Nipsey. And this is a picture that Bree shot. But let me just rewind it so you can see exactly what's going on here. That's Nipsey right here. I'm rewinding it, and they walked up right when Cabby was taking this photo. And this is Bree and her friend right here after they just walked out of the Master Burger. Let me pause it right here for a second. This is Bree and her friend right there. And there you can see Bree is in the front. Her friend is behind her. At the moment, Nipsey's taking the picture with Cabby. And then they walked right between the two white cars. And you can see Nipsey right here. You'll see him move into position to take this photo with Bree. And there it is. At 3:13, they shoot that picture. Now she's going to walk off with her friend, and they're going to head back to the Master Burger where Christian Johnson is still waiting for his food. Now Nipsey's going to have a conversation here with Carrie Latham, who's leaning against this white Audi. And you just saw Bree walk into the Master Burger. She seems a little excited that she just took a photo with Nip. I believe she's actually posting that picture right at while she's inside this Master Burger that she just took with Nip. So right now, Cowboy, Shermai, and Rimpaw are standing right there, and Nipsey and Cousin Carrie are having a conversation as Bree decides to go to her car. She just walked out. You can see her in the Master Burger footage and in this Shell gas station footage walking to her car. Now remember, Eric Holder and Bernita Nicholson are circling around. Even though they left, they're still in the vicinity. And this black Jeep, unknown female, she pulls in. And you'll see in a little while she's going to be having a conversation with Nipsey. And she's the last one that actually takes a photo with Nipsey. And in this car right here is Danae Wright. Now, it's unclear to me if these two people came together. I have reason to believe that they did. So this lady here in the white pants, she gets out. Oh, and then this girl right here in the red pants, she's walking over here towards where Danae is. I think they end up talking to Danae. This woman in the red pants, and then the woman that just got out the Jeep, you see her passing right here in the Master Burger footage. She goes over here too, and it seems as if they're having a conversation with Danae in that car. But that's pure speculation because there's no audio, and we really can't see from this vantage point here. We can't see what Danae is doing. She's in the car. And at this point, let me pause it. At 3:16 p.m., we have footage from this house on 58th Place. This camera is pointing north. This is the driveway of that property, and then up here is the alley. It's this alley right here you see in the Shell gas station, but this is the alley at 58th Place. This is the house on 58th Place that has two cameras. One camera's back here, and there's another camera in the front. And that's what you're going to see. At some point after Bernita Nicholson and Eric Holder circle the block, they're going to pull in here and park right here in this alley. And this is where he begins to eat his food. Okay, so now, after what appears to be a conversation between Danae Wright and these two ladies, one with the white pants, she's the one that just jumped out the Jeep, and this woman here in the red, Danae Wright immediately backs up the car. So that's one reason why I believe they were all talking. And as she backs up the car, she's looking for a parking spot, and there is none. And you'll notice that the woman here in the white pants that's walking towards the Marathon store is going to get Nipsey Hussle's attention. So here's where Danae pulls up and double parks. I just paused it. And this is the moment where Nipsey Hussle right here, the woman in the white pants, they start a conversation. And they obviously know each other because he greets her. They greet each other, I should say, with a hug. Pay attention. And there's a hug right there between the woman in the white pants and Nipsey Hussle. They're talking. And I just overlooked something that just happened in the bottom left footage. Now keep in mind, all this footage is synced together. Let me back up a little bit. Okay, we're at the point where Danae Wright pulls up right here, and at the same time, Bernita Nicholson and Eric Holder pull up right here in the alley. So Danae Wright pulls up right there, double parks. They pull up in the alley, and Nipsey Hussle is having a conversation with the woman with the white pants. And this is all happening at 3:17 p.m. Now, if you notice down here in the footage from 58th Place, the door opens up. The door opens up on Bernita's car, and then now it slams. The footage is very grainy, but at this point, Eric Holder exited this car. And let me pause it right here, because at the same time that Eric Holder exits that car at 3:17 p.m., Nipsey Hussle took the last photo with that woman in the white pants. And let me rewind it just a little bit here. Now, I have a picture of that woman in the white pants. That's from the LAPD body cam footage. That's going to come up a little bit later. in a few more minutes, but I just put that up there so you can just see who she is. And Nipsey Hussle actually had talked to her for about 40 seconds. And I'm rewinding. So at 3:17 p.m., there's a few things going on at the same time. And right now I'm rewinding it frame by frame. I'm going to pause it right at the moment that Nipsey takes this selfie. There it is right there at 3:17 p.m. and 36 seconds. Nipsey takes a selfie, his last photograph, with this woman in the white pants. Down here you can see the door open on Bernita's car on the passenger side where Eric Holder is exiting. And you can see Christian Johnson down here just checking it out. He's like, damn, there goes Nipsey Hussle. He testified in court that he noticed Nipsey Hussle was outside while he was waiting for his food. Danae Wright decided to park there after her conversation with the woman in the red pants and this woman here in the white pants. Shermai's there, Rimpaw's there, and Carrie Latham is just leaning against this Audi. All right, let's continue. You'll notice down here, this door is going to close. As soon as this door closes, Eric Holder is walking. He's going to be walking back through this alley. Boom, the door just shut on that car. And Nipsey is still talking to this woman. Actually, the door shut, it opened up again, and then it shut a second time. So now Eric Holder is walking through the alley. And now we have this other angle here. Let me pause this for a second. This is another angle from Shell gas station of the car wash. And right here, you can see Eric Holder in the frame. So he just walked away from the car parked here in the bottom left-hand clip. And now you'll see him walking right here. He's actually still eating his chili cheese fries. I actually posted this clip on the Street TV platform a couple months ago. And he's holding his chili cheese fries, and you're going to see him put it on this hood of this white truck. And the conversation between Nipsey and that woman just finished, and now Nipsey's about to walk back and continue talking to cousin Carrie. Let's continue. There's a lot going on here. Eric Holder is walking up here in the upper right hand clip. He just put his food there. Now he's out of the frame there, and you're going to see him come into frame in the upper left hand corner right here. And then you'll see him walk by the Master Burger footage right here. Now let me just pause right here just to show you that all four of these clips here are in sync. It is right now 3:18 p.m. and 44 seconds, according to the LAPD body cam footage, which I was able to sync. I'll post a methodology of that. And let me also let you know that you can this clip of all this footage synced is on my Patreon page without any commentary, without any narration, if you're interested in this footage. So at this moment, it's 3:18. Eric Holder is walking, and at this moment, he doesn't have any weapons drawn. Let's continue. Hey, I paused it right here just to note that Joshua Baerga was sitting in his car. He was eating food, and he's finished eating his food, and he's going to throw his trash into this can right here, almost crossing paths with Eric Holder. And then you'll notice once Eric Holder starts shooting, Joshua goes into the Marathon store. You can see Christian Johnson is looking in that direction. And let me continue. There goes Joshua throwing his trash out. Eric Holder's passing him. There's another gentleman here walking this way. And right there, Eric Holder just walked between the two white cars, and Nipsey's looking right at him. It is 3:18 p.m. and 58 seconds. And I have the first shot being fired at 3:18 p.m. and 59 seconds. And here it is. Also, what I noticed when I was syncing all this footage together is that Rimpaw, let me back up a couple frames. Rimpaw was actually looking in his phone right there during the first shot. And you'll notice that there's a delayed reaction compared to Shermai Villanueva, because Shermai Villanueva is looking. He is looking in the direction of Nipsey, Cousin Carrie, and Eric Holder. But Rimpaw is actually in his phone. And you'll actually see him if you look at this clip in slow motion or at another, which I also have this one posted. When he runs off, you'll see that his phone is in the right hand. All right, let's continue. First shot is fired. And let me see if you can tell that Rimpaw has his phone in his right hand. Yeah, you could tell he's holding. There it is right here. Let me back up. There it is. His phone is in his right hand. And he was actually looking in his phone during the first shot fired. And you can see Christian Johnson is reacting. He's like, what the heck is going on? And this man right here, he's right there in the Shell gas station footage. This guy is going to run all the way through the alley. And if you look at this clip at the bottom, if you're paying attention, you'll see this man run all the way to 58th place. This man literally runs all the way to 58th place. And then you'll notice once the shots are fired, Bernita starts to move the car. She testified that she didn't know what was going on. She was going to drive off. I know a lot of people criticize her for why didn't she leave, but she also didn't know what was going on. She's way over here. This is a block away down the alley. 58th place is 58th place right here. So let me just back up a couple frames. And at 3:19 p.m., let's go to 3:19 p.m. exactly, which is right after the first shot was fired. The first shot fired at 3:18 p.m. and 59 seconds. But at 3:19, everyone starts to scatter. And let me just play it here. Danae Wright, she starts to run frantically. And then let me pause here. We have another camera angle with this 3 on it. All 5 of these clips are in sync. And what you're looking at is the camera from the front yard of this building here that you see in the lower left-hand corner. You see the white car, Bernita Nicholson's white car, and you can see the white car right here. Once the shots are fired, she starts to move her car, and you can see some movement. Let me continue here. You can see some movement of her car. And here, let me also pause right here. This is the man that was running from in front of the Master Burger. You can see him pass. Actually, let's back up a little bit because you can see him pass through the alley. Let me rewind so you can see what I'm talking about here. Because this man actually represents a level of fear that I don't think is funny. I mean, this man ran a whole block away. And here, let me play it right here. And there's the man right here. This man right here. And you're going to see him. I want you to see him running through this alley right here. Just gives you a level of fear that he was feeling. Let me play it now. And you're going to see him run past that white truck. There he goes. And now I just paused it there. Now look at the bottom left-hand clip. You're going to see him run all the way to 58th place. And you're going to see him right here. That's him right there. He ran all the way to 58th place from the alley. Now at this point, he just kicked him in the head at 3:19 p.m. Eric Holder just kicked Nip in the head, and now he's going to run off. And you'll see Cowboy come out. Now at this point, this is where let me back up. There's a few things going on here. Now I noticed when Eric Holder was running past the Master Burger, he had a gun in each hand. And in court, they only used this Shell gas station footage up to the point where where Cowboy comes out. But TMZ had another clip that was about 30 more seconds. So I took that clip, the extra 30 seconds from the TMZ clip, and I added it to this clip from court. And it's going to show about an extra 30 seconds that they didn't play in court. So I also sunk that to this footage. So it's all in sync. And at this point, you can see Bernita Nicholson. Here's the white car in this clip here, and that's Mark III. And there it is right there. She's actually on 58th place. She's almost going to leave this guy. She's frantic. She saw the man run by her car. She heard all the shots, and she's almost about to leave. And Eric Holder is running back at this moment at 3:19 p.m. Let me continue. Now let me just pause it here. You see Eric Holder running through the alley here. This Shell gas station footage right here, this is now the clip from TMZ. I matched it together, but the color, they must have used a filter or did something different. So for those who noticed a little change in contrast with these last 30 seconds, it's because I took the TMZ clip and I added it to the clip from court. The court didn't play this part right here where Cowboy it runs out to Nipsey, and then you see Rimpaw and Shamai go back. Let me play it now. That's Christian Johnson. He doesn't know what to do. He goes out. He goes in. So, did you see that? Eric Holder jumped into Bernita's car and drove off. We're going to rewind this just a little bit. We're going to rewind it to 3:19 and 48 seconds. 3:19 and 48 seconds is when Eric Holder jumps into the car and drives off. The footage is so grainy from this angle here on the bottom left, and this tree is in the way where you can't see Eric get into the car, but you can see the white car here. This is 58th place. There's the Fat Burger over here. There's the Shell. This is the Shell gas station. This is the Fat Burger. And pay attention to this area right here. You're going to see some movement of somebody jumping into that car. And let me go back a few frames and just pay attention to the bottom left-hand corner here. Right here. Opens the door, gets in, closes the door, and now the car drives off. That's what everyone's calling the getaway. There's Rimpaw on the phone, Danae Wright, Shermai, and that's the end of. Let me back up a little bit. That's the end of the Shell gas station footage. That ends at 3:20 p.m. Let's see here. Let's play it forward. It's going to end at 3:20 p.m. I just paused it here. This camera angle from 58th plate, that's about to end. And at 3:20 p.m., the Shell gas station footage ends, and you see Danae Wright jump into her car. That's her right here. I can back it up. You can see from both angles Danae Wright jumping into her car. That's her door open there. That's her car. You can see it right here in the Master Burger footage. Okay. So it's going to be about 3 minutes before the LAPD get on the scene. I calculated from the very first shot to when they come up on the scene is 4 minutes and 53 seconds. So I'm going to fast forward this a little bit. I have this whole clip on the Patreon page without any modifications, no fast forwarding, no pausing, no narration, if you're interested in it. But we're going to fast forward here to the 3:23 point when the LAPD arrive. We have about 6 clips from the LAPD body cam footage that became public. And I synced those clips to this Master Burger footage. And there's a little bit of movement down here. You see people walking, running. And I am fast forwarding this to the 3:23 and 45 second point. And then we'll play it in regular time. And there's that black Jeep that belongs to the woman that took the last picture with Nipsey. And okay, now I'm playing. You're going to see this first LAPD clip. And both these clips are synced to each other. I have the audio off on this, but on the Patreon page, I have the audio, the regular audio going. And let me pause right here because I noticed this gentleman here. This is a gentleman wearing black jeans and a blue Vans shirt, and he's the reason I was able to sync this LAPD body cam footage to the Master Burger footage, and then of course I was able to sync the Master Burger footage to the Shell gas station footage to get the precise time. Now, if you look right here on the Master Burger footage, it says 3:23 p.m. and 50 seconds. According to the LAPD's cameras, it is 3:24 p.m. and 22 seconds. So there's about a 30 plus second difference. And here you can look at the time code. It is 3:24 p.m. and 28 seconds on this LAPD body cam footage, and you'll see that the time code that I have here is almost exactly matching to the LAPD time code there. So this guy in the van shirt is on the phone, and Christian Johnson is on the phone standing outside the Master Burger. Here's clip number 2. And there's the guy with this is the guy with the van shirt on. You see him here in the Master Burger footage here. And you see him there standing in front of the front doors of the Master Burger. And Ingrid Caston is sitting right there in Cowboy's car. And there's the woman with the white pants that I showed you earlier. And if you listen to the audio of this clip, this woman is going frantic. You could tell she's very emotional about what she just witnessed. She's the last one to take a photo with Nip. And she really had a 45-minute conversation seconds before Eric Holder shot. That's Bree right there. She looks like she's in shock. This is Danae Wright's car. And I think there's about 4 more clips from the LAPD body cam that I synced to this Master Burger footage. And again, this was a clip that I was going to post after Eric Holder was sentenced. He hasn't been sentenced. Here you can see the LAPD putting out the yellow tape. You'll see this gentleman pop up into this Master Burger footage shortly. You'll see his feet. This LAPD officer is talking to Ingrid. And there's the feet of the LAPD officer that's putting up the yellow tape here in the Master Burger footage. And here's the LAPD officer. He just dropped the yellow tape and he decided to start talking to this guy on the bike that you just saw in the other clip. This guy with the van shirt, he's going to walk right through and he's going to come all the way. There he is right there, the guy with the van shirt. He's going to come all the way over here. There he is walking there. And now the fire department, paramedics have arrived. I see this guy's Cunningham. His name is on the back. This guy doesn't have a name on the back of his. And let me just pause this for a second. Because at this point, at 3:26 p.m., the Los Angeles Fire Department paramedics are arriving on the scene. And I believe there's going to be about 5 in total at some point and some other footage that I looked. But if you look at this Master Burger footage right here in the bottom, there's another fire department member walking towards Nipsey. There he is. There's a couple more LAPD body cam clips. Here's another one. I noticed all the paramedics were wearing helmets. One fire department guy, this guy right here has a blue hat. Most of them are wearing helmets. And that's it. That's the end of this clip where I synced all this footage. And thanks for tapping in with another video from Street TV. And rest in peace to Nipsey Hussle.